Hi ladies! Okay, today we're going to be doing a very much requested video all about mixing your lip and cheek colors. So you guys know I love to do this in my own personal palette. Typically I will just mix them on my lips, but sometimes that causes you to get a little bit of your palette kind of mixing the colors back and forth dirty. And so I will mix mine in these cute little tins so I have my custom colors. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay ladies, and as we get started, let me go ahead and warn you about your glosses. If you melt your glosses, they do not go back to the same consistency as previously. It's not a big deal. I've melted my Desert Sunset, as you can see there, and it still works great, but just a little heads up in case that is an issue that you want to avoid. Alright, here I'm trying to pick out my colors. I'm going to choose Black Cherry, which is gorgeous, and also Baby Watermelon. I love Black Cherry. It is beautiful. It's so scary dark in the tin, but I promise you if you don't have this one, you definitely want to get it. Okay, I'm eyeballing this. There is no exact science to it. I think here I just did about a half and half ratio, so a 1-to-1 ratio I should say. This is really where you just let your creative juices flow. And to make it a little bit extra fun, I decided to throw in some shine. So I was trying to decide between an illuminator and an eyeshadow, and ultimately I went with Soulmate as an eyeshadow. And I'll showcase some of my beautiful colors I mixed earlier today. And I'm just gently scraping that in, very, very gently scraping. And it's on low heat. I've already got it going on the stove. I have a glass top cooker. You can put it directly on it, but I just choose to use the pan. Alright, here I am, I talk so beautiful. I'm just mixing some more beautiful colors. I've got Ruby, and I'm showing you the consistency there, how it's a little more creamy, and that's because I'd previously melted it too. So there is Ruby with some Black Cherry, and oh, I added some beautiful Petal in here. The color doesn't really pick up as well, but it's a very soft pink. And then, cleaning everything up, I decided I wanted a little bit more of a summer look, so I decided to use Frenchie, which is a beautiful lip and cheek that I also use for color correcting quite often. I decided to use Frenchie and Baby Watermelon. And you can kind of see I had used about 2-to-1 ratio there of the Frenchie to the Baby Watermelon, and I also used another 1 ratio of a color called Dahlia. Not quite sure how you say it, but it's a beautiful color. And you just pop it in and let it melt. This really does not take a lot of time. Just keep an eye on it. Obviously, I'm using my hands, but be super careful because it is hot. Not terribly hot because it's on low, but I don't want anybody to get burned. There, I was just trying to decide if I wanted to add a little more shine to anything, but I decided to keep it the way it was. Now as you start paying attention to the consistency, you'll see the colors start slowly kind of melting into one another like that one is. And I'm just going to mix it here. Again, I apologize because my hand is in the way. I recommend if you have a toothpick as far as mixing, use a toothpick. It was a little bit harder for me to get into those corners and mix. You can see where I accidentally spilled a little bit, just wiped it up. And then here is where I'm going to mix some with the eyeshadow in. It's absolutely a gorgeous, gorgeous sheen to it, but not too much. You actually probably want to put a little more than you think initially as far as your shadow if you use an illuminator, just to give it that little extra pop and shine. These colors are absolutely gorgeous in person. Oh my goodness. Oh, this one I decided, you know what, and that's what I was just mentioning, I wanted a little bit more shimmer to it, so I just added a little bit more in. Wiping up my excess that I spilled, and I'm just mixing the final one. Showcasing my beautiful colors that I'm so proud of that I mixed earlier today, and I love them. So you just move it off to the side. You can use a spatula instead of your hands, but that's it, ladies. Look at this gorgeous color. You can do that too. Oh, yeah, and don't forget, once you've mixed your colors, just pop them all back on the stove and let them melt down. So then whenever they melt down to liquid form again and you just kind of brush it around, they look good as new. So it's like you never, ever, ever dipped into your palette. So that's how these last forever and ever. You definitely, I mean, super careful there and moving it to the edge.